Today we are going to have a look at one of the features of Figma, which is auto layout. So they have recently updated it. This is May 2022 and I'm going to show you how to use that. And let's grab some buttons and create something amazing to see how it works. So the same thing is, let's start with T, and I'm going to type some text over here. Let's create a button. I'm going to make it 20 pixels. Let's keep using enter bold, and to create a button I'm going to press shift A, and we have created an auto layout. Auto layout has been added. As soon as we add auto layout, you can see this is a new panel on the right. So we have the direction of the auto layout, horizontal direction, vertical direction. These are the paddings between, spacing between items I'm going to share with you in a few moments. And this is the padding around this button. So let's add a fill color. Let's add a fill color of this. Let's use this bluish color. And let's make some rounded corners of 8 pixels. And now we are going to experiment the padding around this button. So for this auto layout, the padding is horizontal padding is this. So I can drag it like this. So you can see there are pink lines inside the button, which is showing me, let's keep it to 40. And this is going to be the horizontal top and bottom. So I'm going to keep it to 16. So this is my perfect button, kind of perfect button. Let's try to use some dark blue color for the button text. Okay, so this one looks great. Okay, so one more thing they have added over here. So if I hover on the button, you can see if I click over here, it let me enter the value over here. So here is the padding. So click once, and what happened? So here is the frame. Oops. So I have different values now. So you can see over here, I have different values for top, right, bottom, and left. So I think I need to click over here to see that this is the right one. So let's try to reduce it. I think there is a bug because once I change the value, those actually disappeared. Okay, so I have them now. So if I click over here, you can see this is, so if I click over here, 20. Okay, so here we have it again. So I have to click over here again, 10, and now they have disappeared. Oops, I think there is a bug right now. Anyhow, so you can control everything from here. So if you want independent paddings, you can open this up. So you can see, so I have independent paddings for left and right, so you can separate them with commas too. So 40 and 20. So if I want to have 60 on the left, you can see I can have 60. This is my top and bottom. Let's try to use 32 at the top. So here we have it. Okay, so let's keep it to default. Let's use 36 on left and right, and 16 at top and bottom. So this is going to be my button. Now if I want to create a simple menu bar, I can just replicate this, Control or Command D. So you can see I'm replicating just this text, and it is actually in the horizontal direction, and this is the spacing between items. So this is the frame, this is the auto layout frame, and these are the paddings between them. So you can see I can click and drag like this to increase the padding between them, and it is actually expandable. So if I try to about us, let's use contact over here, and again also we have the padding at the top and bottom. We can control it over here. This is a really nice feature. They have separated the padding, all the padding around it, and they have more I think user interface is more friendlier than before. Okay, so here we have it, simple navigation bar. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to replicate this whole frame. So Command D, frame 2, 3, 4, and I have all these frames, and let's select all these frames, and I have to create another auto layout. So now I have another auto layout, and now you can see the direction is top to bottom. This is vertical. So now we are going to play with this spacing between items. Let's use 24 over here, and this is the separation between these items. You can see I can control it from here too. I can just click over here and enter like 16, and let's try to see, I can change the padding. Let's try to see the padding over here. Yes, these are the paddings. 24, let's add 24 at the bottom, and let's add 24 at the left. So you can see now this is another frame, this is another auto layout frame, and I have added paddings. I am also using this spacing between items. So you can see over here, let's try to use 32, and if you want to fill it with some color, you can do that too. So just to show you that how it is going to work. Okay, so this is actually the outer frame. So I have inner auto frames, then I have outer auto frames, just to show you that we have multiple items which we can separate by spacing. And let's add one more thing to this auto frame. I'm going to add, let's say, a rectangle over here. Let's try to add a rectangle over here. So it is going to be placed over here like this. So now you can see it actually got the layout, which was you can see over here, vertical direction. So anything I add, it is going to be in the vertical direction at the bottom. Or if I want to change the position of this item, I can move it up or down wherever I want it. Now if I want it to be at a specific place outside of the control of this, let's create a smaller circle like this, and I'm going to have rounded corners of 60. So it is a small circle. Oops, 36 should be the height. Okay, so I have just created a small circle. Let's say it was like this. So I want a status over here, or maybe over here at the right, maybe a close button for this frame. Right now it is inside the auto layout, managing the vertical direction. So there is a small magic button over here. It says absolute position. So you have to select that element, click the absolute position, and it is going to go outside of that auto layout, and let's use it over here like this. So you can see now, you can see it's still inside this auto layout frame, but it has an absolute position, just like we have used it in HTML. So this is a really nice feature. Okay, so one more thing is that you can see over here the hug resizing, vertical resizing and horizontal resizing, hug, fixed contents, and then we had the third one, fill content, I think was for this one. Yes, fill container. So you can see this is a very nice. So outside of this outer frame, it only shows me that hug contents and fixed width. So if I try to use a fixed width, it is going to be like this. And let's move it over here. I'm unable to move it like that. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to use fill container. So you can see as soon as I clicked on the fill container, it has filled its container. So container is darker one, and the lighter one is actually my content. So content is going to fill the container. So this is fixed. Hug contents is going to expand whenever I, so you can see if I switch to hug contents, it is going to go back. Okay, so this is hug contents fill container. Fixed width is self-explanatory. I don't need to explain it. It is going to keep the width of this frame, outer frame fixed. Hug content is going to grow with the content inside. So let's try to see judgment day. So you can see the outer content, outer frame is actually expanding with the inner content because it is hugging the content. So whenever the content is, you know, expanding, for example, I'm hugging something like this. So if someone inside the one I'm hugging, maybe a balloon, if it's start expanding, I have to expand my arms. So this is how the hug actually works. So let's see if I have missed something over here. Okay, so we have this alignment. I think I need to show you the alignment over here. So let's add a rectangle or maybe a button over here. Let's create a rectangle and just think that it is a button. So let's create this button. I'm going to move it inside over here. So let's assume that this is our button, 8 pixel roundness. So this is my button. So right now you can see everything is lined up on the left. So if I click this outer frame, let's call it outer frame, and these are the inner frames. Okay, so once I have select this outer frame, you can see these are the alignment options. So right now it is on left, top left alignment. If we go to this one, like the right alignment, you can see everything is aligned on the right. The button also moves to the right. If I use the middle one, it is going to align everything like this. Okay, so sometimes what happens is that I want this button to be aligned on the left and maybe all of these top ones to be on the right. So the simple way is that let's call this btn, and I'm going to create another auto layout like this for this button. And for all these frames, I'm going to create another auto layout. So now I have two auto layouts inside this. So for this, I'm going to keep it on the left. Okay, you can see now. And for the middle one, so let's call this content. Let's call this button. So you can see over here, the content is at the top, and I can move it, the content, irrespective of the button, because I have them into different frames. So I have different containing frames for them. Similarly, you can see now it is again inside that frame, content frame. So it is moving with that direction, you can see over here. So let's try to again click this, let's call it status. And I'm going to again click this one, absolute position, and it is going to go back to the place it was before. So let's try to where is my status? This is the one. Let's try to use it or move it over here. Let's move it over here. Okay, so we have studied these alignments. We have studied this vertical and horizontal direction like this. Then we have studied the separation between different items. Let's use 80. So these are actually, you can see now this frame has two inner frames. So whatever spacing will be, it will be between these two. So if you want to control spacing between different group of items, you have to group them into auto layout frames. Okay. So we have few more options over here. You can see like you can see over here, packed and space between, very nice animations. So maybe I can try to something over here. Let's try to use space between. Okay, I think we need 2 or 3 items in this direction to have space between. So right now I have one only. So let's create a group of buttons. So let's replicate this, command D. So right now it is moving in the bottom direction. let's click this auto layout frame for the buttons, and we are going to move them in this direction. Okay, now let's try to see if I can okay, so I have to make it fill container like that. Okay, so first you have to make sure that your inner frame, or where you have to use this space between, is actually filling the container. So what I did is I actually created 3 buttons inside my button frame. You can see this, the layout is from left to right, and because I wanted to fill the whole frame. Okay, so you can see over here, this is the alignment options now, because I have switched from packed to space between. So if I go back to packed, you can see they are going to all align like this, closer to each other, and they are going to have this spacing between items, which is 10. So let's use 24. So this is the spacing between them right now. But if I shift to space between, you can see the spacing between them, it says auto. So this is the main difference. So it is going to automatically space them. And right now you can see this button frame is actually set to fill the container. The container is the darker one. So also one more thing is, I think the strokes, this is actually, if we have put a stroke around the button, let's use a stroke of 15. So you can see right now, let's use it outside, and you can see now my stroke is actually getting outside of this. Let's try to use some maybe white color. Let's try something like that. So it is going outside of my frame. Let's try to see if it accommodates. So right now it says strokes are excluded. Let's include them in the layout. Now you can see the padding and spacing, everything is accounted for the strokes as well. Okay, so now I'm going to shift back to packed, because I want to show you something interesting. Rather than using a spacing of 24, let's try to use -10. Okay, so -10, let's put a stroke over here just to show you that it is going to be like let's white 15. So it is going to be outside. Let's try to use the same stroke, 15, outside, oops, outside, and it is going to be white. So now you can see I have 3 buttons, and 3 buttons that are overlapping each other. Let's try to use a bit different color over here, so just to show you that which one is overlapping which other one. So we have right now three of them. So this one is at the bottom right now, and these are at the top. So if I try to, so we have one more thing, which is canvas stacking. So you can say it says last on top. So if I switch to first on top, you can see the first one is now on the top and others one are at the bottom. So it is useful when we have different avatar images, different icons, and we want them to overlap each other. And the last one is actually the baseline shift, which is when we have an icon and a button. So let's try to use some icon. Oops, not over here. Let's icon, and I'm going to use any icon right now. So let's use this one. This is going to be an icon album, and if I try to use that inside this inside the button, let's combine them, Command G, just to group them together, and let's try to have a text over here, says let's start. Okay, so So I'm going to align it perfectly if I can. Let's move it outside this, and let's move this one also outside of this one, just to see how these are actually going to align. So I'm going to have padding 4 between the items. So right now it is actually pretty obvious, and it is aligning with this one. Let's try to have a smaller text. Let's try to have smaller text. It is at the bottom, and let's try to change the color. I'm going to increase the distance to 32. Okay, so right now these are both aligned, but if you want to change the alignment, let's try to change something. You can see over here, if we have an issue of baseline alignment, then we can shift like this. So if we have 2 or 3 text and 1 icon, we can use this baseline alignment to align these. So right now you can see it says baseline alignment, which is not working for this scenario, but I can guarantee you that in some scenarios when we have a text and an icon that are not lining up, you have to use this baseline alignment. So this is how much they have changed. They have provided new options like baseline alignments, compensating for strokes. Then we have this one. I really love this feature of this fixed this one, absolute positioning, really nice feature. And then we have very nice presentation of paddings all around the item, left padding, right padding. If we hover on them, left, right, left, and then left, and then we have right padding. Let's close them because it is actually not matching with my HTML. Anyhow, so this is all about. They have also moved this hug content, fill content to the frame options like width, height, because it was more suited for the frame. So that is my recent video or new video, and how you can master your auto layout. Very simple concept. Before it was too hard for me to understand. I have seen a lot of my students, design students, who are actually having problem while understanding this concept of auto layout. I hope you have understood auto layout well and good from this video. I will meet you soon in another video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.